Welcome everyone to our Selling Fast and Furious webinar featuring our summer 2021 release. My name is Emily Fellman. I head up our customer success team here at Prolifiq, and I am joined today by Jesse Grimm, who is our Senior Implementation Manager and Salesforce admin. So Prolifiq has 3 Salesforce native apps. Account-based selling and revenue optimization apps, I should say, to help sales and marketing teams better manage their account plans and their content to drive more business. We have 3 product releases a year that coincide with Salesforce's releases. So all of our apps continue to live seamlessly in Salesforce, which is one of the many benefits of being native. We're constantly innovating based on our customer feedback and needs, and consider ourselves truly a customer and market-driven company. So now that you know who we are and what our apps do, I will turn it over to Jesse to talk about our summer release.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Emily. So what I'll go ahead and do is I will bring up my demo org and I will talk a little bit about our 3 products, like Emily mentioned. I'll start with Prolifiq Crush, then I'll move to Prolifiq Relationship Map, and I'll round out with Prolifiq Ace at the end. Just talking about a little bit about Prolifiq Crush here. So these 3 main features are kind of what I'm going to be highlighting today as part of some key features that we've released in this particular product update. Flipping over to the Crush app in the Salesforce org now, we can see that I have an account plan open. Now the top level here, we've got the ability to use account teams for managing who can see what inside of Crush. In our previous releases, we had the ability to manually share an account plan record with users in your org using a custom object called team members. This is where you could bring other users in your org in as team members in this account plan and designate if they have edit rights or read-only rights. But now in our newest release, we have the ability to leverage account teams as well. And you can choose either one of these in Crush, but now the account team feature is being leveraged, which is a native feature in Salesforce. It's the same account team that you would normally see at the account level. And this essentially means that if you have an account plan that you want to share with someone, instead of going into team members and manually bringing them in, you can now add them to the underlying account team at the account level. And that will automatically give them access to that account plan, as well as any other account plans that are on that particular account. So that's a way to bring that native functionality, more of that native functionality from Salesforce to Crush, because we're embedded in that environment. That way, if you are using account teams in your own org to manage who can see what accounts, now the Crush app is going to be a direct beneficiary of it, and you'll have the same rights and the same configurability that you have with that feature in Salesforce. So that is the first item in the list. The next item is going to be over in our cross-sell product in Crush. Jumping over here, previously in versions of the cross-sell, you had the ability to go in and add quantifiable data to your cross-sell. Quantifiable data meaning numerical data. So this is an example of one. We have dollar figures in here, but you could also add things like round numbers, percentages, integers, decimals, really anything numerical related. That is the previous version. You can still do that now, but in addition, we've actually enabled you to add non-numerical values as well. So if we go over to this other account plan, this cross-sell map is designed to bring in tasks. And in a task, you're not really going to have a dollar amount involved or necessarily a numerical field. So this allows you to bring in the tasks individually. So we can see in this block in the upper left, we have an upcoming task to send a quote. Over here in this quadrant, we have a kickoff meeting and a schedule follow-up task that are coming up for this particular item. So now you can bring in record names as well as any non-numerical records. So if you wanted to bring in things like opportunity name or opportunity stage inside of these buckets, you can bring those over as well. In addition to that, when you author new records inside of your cross-sell map, you can do that from the little button down here in the lower right corner. In this example, I do have tasks wired up, so I'm showing different tasks that are mapped to these different contacts for these different opportunities. If I click on the button here, it's going to prompt me to pick a record type. So this is new in this update as well. We are supporting custom record types within the record authoring inside of cross-sell. So if you have record types within your task object, or if you have record types within your objectives object, or any other object that you're bringing into the cells inside of your cross cell, we will now support those. So instead of picking default one, now you are able to pick any custom ones that you have in your org. So that's just another way to leverage more of that core functionality in Salesforce to kind of make make the product enhanced and more akin to what your users are going to be used to when they go in and author a task. That way, they're going to be able to select a record type just like they do when they author a task anywhere else. And with that, I'll flip back over to our deck here and move on to our next product, which is Relationship Map. I'll cover these key features in Relationship Map that are new to Summer 21. We'll cover the search functionality, we'll cover email authoring, and then we will cover task creation within the Relationship Map as well. So flipping back over to the account plan and going into key stakeholders, what we have over here is the ability to search up here at the top. So as you can see here, I have a decent sized relationship map that I built in the side of this account plan. But if you can imagine this getting bigger and bigger and a little bit harder to find exactly who you want. So we have this search key at the top where you can type in a person's name. So if I'm looking for Sandra Smith, I can type in that person's name, and it's gonna highlight them. And then if I'm looking for a particular stakeholder category in here, like if I'm looking for champions, I can type in the word champion, and it's going to highlight the different champions that I have inside of this relationship map. Or if I want to see my supporters, I can type in the word support, and it's going to show the different supporters. This is essentially a search field that's searching any metadata within any of these contact cards that are being leveraged at the relationship map level. So I can search things like names, titles. Like if I look for the word chief, I can find my C-suite. You can also do things like searching email addresses. So this is Big Sky Worldwide. So if I know that my email domain is bsw.com, I can search for that. So yeah, any sort of metadata that's inside of the contact cards is now searchable. And in addition, if you have any sub relationships like this little blocker field down here, it'll highlight those as well. So not only is it highlighting this person Amanda Brown as a blocker, but it's specifically showing a relationship that's been identified inside this relationship map as a blocker. So we're not only searching the contact cards themselves, but also the sub relationships. So that's a quick way to do some searching within your relationship maps and find that data right away. And then also in these contact cards, you can see here we have the email field that's been surfaced inside of the contact cards. We can now click on that, and that is a dynamic link that will populate your system's default email authoring. So I just have Outlook that's popping up right here. But if you happen to have Gmail or any other tool that you use for email, that's just going to take over and allow you to author an email specifically from the relationship map. So all you have to do that is just click on the email field, and that'll open up that dialog, and you're good to go. So save you a couple clicks if you ever need to author an email to any of these folks that are on here. And then lastly, we have a way to create tasks directly on the relationship map cards. This is similar to what we saw in cross-sell a minute ago, where you can right-click and you can author new tasks inside of any of these cards. And then if you click on that new task button, we'll see the ability to pick the record type, just like we saw before. And then if I pick customer task and I go next, this is going to populate the name for me. So now that I know I'm creating a task that is assigned to Sandra Smith and is related to this account plan right here. So everything is populated inside of my task dialog and ready for me to fill in. So that's a quick way for me to author tasks directly from the relationship map without having to move out to any other app or any other tab. So it's a great way to kind of keep users on this screen and kind of get that functionality wired up. So there's lots of different things that you can do specifically within Crush. All right, so finally we will go over into ACE. ACE is that content management piece where you can visualize and see the different content that you have inside of Salesforce. And we have a few different features that we've added to a couple different places in ACE. The first one that we have is the ability to generate a link directly from the homepage. So you can see that I'm in the ACE homepage here. This is kind of the carousel view that shows you some featured pieces of content that you're able to go in and leverage. And if you want to go in and generate a link from one of these, you can click on this little generate link button. And from here, you can actually pick a contact or a lead in your system. So if I'm sending something to Emma Flores, I can click Emma right here and click create URL. That gives me a URL that I can then copy from here and then paste into an email, for example, and send over to Emma. That way she'll be able to click on this link and see the underlying content. She'll be able to see this particular PDF message. And it'll, we have tracking built into the background that'll show when it was opened, how long it was viewed, etc. So just a quick way to generate a link that is able to be kind of portable and sent however you'd like directly from this ACE homepage. Next, we have a new ACE management view. So I'm going to go over to this tab over here. This is our ACE management view. This is a way to visualize ACE content in one page. This is a little bit more geared toward power users of ACE, people who are able to upload and approve and share content. It gives you a list of content across the board, everything that's within ACE and everything that has been shared. So if you expand any of the carrots here, you can see all of the pieces of ACE content and who they've been shared with, and then you can make adjustments. So if you decide that you need to share these particular pieces of content with someone, you can go up here to the share button at the top, and then this will allow you to share with whoever you need to. Likewise, you can unshare, you can feature content, you can stop featuring, and then this also just gives you kind of a dashboard view of all of your ACE content and allows you to manage everything from one spot. That way you don't have to hunt and peck for those different pieces of content. If you have a lot of information up there, you can go up here to the top and you can search. So if I'm looking for a particular case study, that'll narrow down to my case studies and allow me to go in and do any work that I need to do. So nice feature for those ACE power users out there. Finally, we have the ability to auto tag. So if I upload a piece of content, for example, if I'm an ACE user and I have the ability to go in and upload files, I'm going to upload a piece of content here. I'm going to upload this PowerPoint. And what we have now is the ability to automatically add tags to the piece of content. Previously, this was a manual action where you'd have to go through and pick the content and then pick the relevant tags. But we have this button here that says auto apply tags. It will actually search through that piece of content if it has text, for example, PowerPoints, Word docs, or PDFs. And it'll actually look for any text matches with any tags that I have out there in ACE right now. So you'll see that it's got instances of the word marketing, management, support, Salesforce, etc. So but just by clicking on that button, it's going to give me a list of tags that I can then choose from when I'm going in and uploading and tagging and sharing my document. So a nice quick way to kind of use a little bit of that machine learning to comb through that document and bring in some tags automatically and save the user some time and get more content uploaded and categorized more quickly. With that about covers all of our features here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I'll turn it back over to Emily to kind of tie things off here.
Thanks, Jesse. I just have one final slide to go through here. And we've talked about our innovation today, and we've also talked about our apps. So Crush, ACE, and Relationship Map are all really grounded in the concept of account-based selling. And the benefits of account-based selling are 100% team collaboration, understanding the gaps and targets within your key accounts, aligning content and messaging, and the ability to develop actionable insights and strategies and execute account-focused plays. We will be following up with an email, so if any questions come to mind, you can respond directly to the email we send out, and happy to answer those questions. And thank you all for your time. Have a great day.